Good evening, everybody. This is Sean with the Detroit Disney Duo, and it is 10:30, and we are on time. Oh yes, which is great. So it is. Today is September the 16th, 2020, and welcome everybody. So before you guys get started watching, if you're watching the replay or you're watching here live, before you get started, if you can and help support our channel, all you have to do is mash that subscribe button. So if you can, go ahead and mash the subscribe button. Help us out. We really appreciate it. Trying to grow the channel here, and you can be a supporter of our channel just by becoming a subscriber. Anyways, so it's a great day. It was sunny outside and really nice. Today we're going to be talking about um, my DVC experience so far. I know a lot about DVC from being a DVC owner, and I'll be talking about that and whatnot. So let's kind of get in the mood of the DVC, or at least one DVC location. Let's go ahead and let's do that right quick. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're just setting it up because I really want to set the mood here. That's really important stuff. So here you are, and you're in the you're in the eastern portion of Florida, and you're in the eastern part of I don't know if you guys are hearing me not, but you're in the eastern part of Florida here, and yeah, it's pretty great. And I don't know if you can guess where this is, but this is on the beach on the eastern portion of Florida. And I have to say that a lot of people actually own this property. It is a DVC owned property facing the Atlantic Ocean, and not the Pacific Ocean. That's kind of a giveaway there. This is what it looks like on the beaches of not Hilton Head, but Vero Beach, Florida, at the DVC beach in Vero Beach. It is a an awesome view. I have another picture here we put up here of almost the same spot, and we can look at that for a minute here. And here is another view for you guys all to look at. This is another view of the beach. Nobody's on the beach here in Vero Beach, but it looks wonderful, actually. I love the way that it looks. And we'll bring up one more because I love Vero Beach. That's one of my. I have not been there yet. That's another tricky thing. I have not been to Vero Beach yet, even though that's our home. That's our home. One of our homes. So here's another look at Vero Beach right there, looking out into the ocean. Look at these lawn chairs with the standing out there with their umbrellas on the chairs. Somebody coming by saying, would you like a martini? You just tell them you want it on the rocks or dry, like a James Bond. Not shaken but stirred. So yes, Vero Beach. I have to say that it looks really, really nice there. It's some great things. So, Vero Beach, I have to say, very, very beautiful looking Vero Beach. And it looks wonderful. That's all I can say. That is one of the DVC resorts. So it was about 19. Let's see here. It was about 1999, 1990. No, about 1998, or maybe sooner. 19. No, let me recount this. Going back in the brain in the machine. I'm thinking, yeah. It was 1997. I had gone to Disney World. And going back to Disney World in 1997, I remember there was a kiosk out there on the boardwalk. And it was a DVC. It was a DVC kiosk where you could go through and you could find out about DVC, all about DVC. And it was really great because they bring you in. Can we have an hour of your time? And we'll give you some free passes. I don't know if they had the fast pass going on at that point in time back in 97. I don't remember that they did. I think they wooed you over with lunch at that point in time back in history. We'll give you lunch. It's on us. No problem. Yeah, so I did go on a house tour of the beach of the right there at the boardwalk. That was the latest and greatest selling spot of the. I think that's exactly where it started at. If I'm not mistaken, somebody could remind me. And whoever's watching later on, you can tell me whether or not that was the very first DVC location, the boardwalk. I think there was another one before it. I can't remember. Anyhow, that was back in 1997. 20 let's hear it. Is it come 2017, 27 years, 20 years later. Marty, let's get into the time machine now. Right? I'm in the time machine 20 years later. I'm at one of the I'm at the Pop Century. And I'm thinking to myself, I think I was at the All-Star Music. I think because I went to the Pop Century the year before in 2013. Spent 4 years of a hiatus not going to Disney until 2017 when I went to the All-Star Music. And that's when, after spending a ton of money for 2 trips to Disney World for 3 people, this little light dinged in my head. Ding. And I thought to myself, how can I save some money going to Florida, going to Disney World, a place that I like to go all the time? And it really did bing in my head. It was a big light bulb that just turned on. It was like, you have found the light, Sean. You have found the light. And I was like, oh, yeah. So I started contabulating up the numbers in my head of how much I had spent on each vacation. And there was this airfare, which a lot of people do fly and some drive, but I have found that a lot of DVC owners just pack it all up. They're going for a week. They pack it all up. They drive. What the heck? I've seen people driving all the way from Ontario, Canada, or even more north than I am in Detroit, drive all the way down in one trip, all the way down to Florida. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, we're not stopping. Disney World or bust. So yeah, they drive all the way to Disney World in one swoop, one swoop, all the way there. Unbelievable. So there was the airfare that I could try to cut out. So I decided to just drive from now on, driving was the way. I had driven there before back in 1997, and I said I can do this. We can drive. It's no sweat. It's just we live out I-75 and we get off on I-75 nearby Orlando, and we just take a jaunt. It's kind of like it's like take a left, and then you're there at Wally World. So, yeah. So we get on I-75 and we go south. No more airplane. So, that's the next thing we did. Then after that, I had to figure out, well, what about tickets? We're spending a ton of money on tickets. Well, one of the very first sales things that you find out, one of the perks of being in the DVC, owning a DVC party, is these tickets. These are all the perks that they tell you about when you sign up. Is that if you live out of state, you get the Florida rate to get a gold annual pass. I'm like, oh, what? That's great. Now, I don't get to put it on a monthly payment like you do in Florida, but I do get it at the same cost. I'm like, well, that's great. I thought about it. I'm going twice a year almost to Florida. I get the annual pass. It saves money because I'm not paying for tickets past like $600. So a 7-day park hopper would be like over like $700-800 for myself. I'm saving $200 right there. Where am I putting that at? Oh, the meal plan. That's the next thing. So I have this meal plan, and the more that I could save goes into this meal plan. Now I had been previously. We tried. The very first time I went in 2013, they had the Magic Bands were just coming out. They were brand new. We were beta testing them, but the meal plan had been there, and so we got the deluxe meal plan. That's 2 sit downs, and we did it again in 2017. Also, the deluxe meal plan. That's 2 sit downs, and a lot of quick service and a lot of snacks. I have to say that you're running around trying to get there. Get out of my way. I got an appointment at the Liberty Inn. We got to get there now. You're running around sweating. It's really crazy to get to your things on time. You got to remember everybody's on vacation, and then there's park time. How long does it take to get from point A to point B in Walt Disney World? That's the next thing you got to figure out when you're booking your reservations. And then you got to match that with all these other fast passes. It's a orchestrated nightmare. So after that, we decided no longer to go with that plan, that deluxe dining plan, because we just were not able to keep up with the Disney dining plan that much. So the next thing on our thing was hotel. And this is where it really got kind of interesting. When I started paying attention, I thought about all the nights that I stayed at a hotel in the Value Resort, and I was like, okay, it's $150 or so, $130 to $150, staying at Pop Century, All Star Music, All Star Sports, All Star Movies. What? And I'm paying that much, but I'm getting on a bus. I mean, it's like the busiest place ever. First of all, it is the busiest of them all. Of all the, I mean, everybody. I mean, it's a value resort, and mostly everybody goes there, except the DVC people, of course. But I mean, it just seems it is the most people that are not part of the DVC are there. That's where they're staying at. That's where they go. So I was like, well, okay, I'm saying 7 days, 150 a day, $150 a night. That's 4 days is 600. 8 days is 900. 7 days is 7 days is like is 700 is 6 days is 900, and then it's almost $1,000, right? I took the entire price of our trip, all of that together, the airfare, everything else like that we had before. We were driving and cutting back on food after a while. I put that all together and I was like, man, if I could save some big time money, where could I save it at? And I thought about myself, let's go check out the DVC plan. Oh, there's no way you could afford it. And that's when I said, sure, I can. If I'm paying $4,000 to $5,000 to go to Disney World, I can afford the DVC cost of a DVC per month because I'm not paying for hotels. Well, I'm paying for hotels, but I'm not paying for hotels all the like I'm paying for. So here's the difference. For the amount that you pay, the amount that you're saving once you have your plan paid off. We'll talk about this in another video. For the amount that you're paying to get your plan paid off, once you have it paid off, that's where you're making a ton of money on hotels. So once you get your loan paid off, let's say you do get points in increments instead of a big giant whopping giant loan of a ton of money. And you're able to manage and pay that off in some period of time. And you have these points. So your yearly dues are going to be way less than it costs to stay at a hotel at that range. That was what I was thinking about the entire time. It was a matter of futuristic stays and where am I staying at? What is the cost of that hotel versus being back at All-Star Music? All-Star Music, $150 a night. You know what it's like. Or could I stay in the Polynesian for $450 a night? A $300 difference. $300 times 7 is $2,100 that I would have not had to stay at that hotel if I did not have DVC. And all in all, that extra money that I had paid for DVC to get rid of my plan, you are going to be able to recoup it by staying at nicer, plusher hotels than you are if you don't have it and you have to fork out that money to pay for the lavish hotels out of pocket. That's where the savings is at. If you like staying in nicer hotels, you join the DVC. That's basically where I like it. That's where the savings is at. If you and your family always wanted to stay at a moderate or really expensive resort, DVC is the plan for you. Even if you only go once or once a year, you're still saving money. You're still saving money. You can get some really nice deals. Now, let me first off say this. I belong to the Vero Beach, the Hilton Head, and Saratoga and Old Key West. People say, oh, well, those resorts, why would you buy into those resorts. In another DVC video, I will talk to you about buying into DVC, what to do, and how to do it to save the most money. Trust me, that will be a video that you'll want to see in the future. Secondly, if you can use your points at anywhere. So even though that you could only book out 6 months ahead of time, where I work, we only get to know our schedule. We plan our vacations a little bit over a year ahead of time. But the catch is, I belong to an employer which I can never know that I'm really seriously going to get a certain time frame. It's not guaranteed. Not guaranteed until I get the vacation schedule. So it's like a scheduling thing and also a seniority deal and whatnot. And yeah. So the best thing to do, if you can do it 6 months ahead of time, that's all the time that you need. Even if you're flying on an airplane, you can book 6 months out. No sweat. Yeah. So it is a good thing, and I'm just saying it is a great thing that you can utilize your planning out that far and get the hotels that you need to get, and you can use it anywhere. Now I hear that they're going to be updating the DVC to be where you have to have 125 points. We have more than that by far, but you have to buy in at 125 points. I think that's going to be the new norm coming up. That's what I hear. That's the rumor. I'm sure it will be the truth shortly. And that should be very, very interesting because you can't, if you do not have actual DVC points from the DVC directly purchased from Disney itself, you are not going to be able to go to all of the new resorts. Believe that or not. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Ripley, believe it or not. So it would behoove you to get on a DVC, get them direct. You can also, if you have to, you can finance these things a long time. And DVC is kind of sort of, they will work with you to get the points. You can do some good deals. You can work it out. They'll help you work it out so that you can get your goals in getting into the DVC. Trust me. So my DVC experience started out in 2017 when the first they offered us 3 fast passes, and they said you can come on with us, DVC fast pass. You get DVC. You get the fast passes to go anything except I think there was one or two that you couldn't get on to. I think one was like Peter Pan. You cannot use Peter Pan. Nope. Peter Pan, and also there was another one. I forget which one it was, but yeah. Then they offered us ice cream after the fact. Oh, yummy! That's yummalicious. So, and then they offered us air conditioning. Yeah, air conditioning ride there and back. That was, oh yeah, plan it just right. It beats the minibus. So we went there, and then they walk you over. They give you the entire tour of. At that point in time, it was the Polynesian. So we went and looked at the new Polynesian rooms. They were completely all decked out, because when I was there in 2013, they were just building the DVC rooms in 2013 and 2014. And when I had come back 3 years later, they were still selling those DVC rooms, and they were the ones that they had on display for models. Well, they still had the Saratoga Springs and those rooms also to show you, but the main seller was the Polynesian. So I did go and tour them, and they look spectacular. They also, they could put you up there. They go into the room. They give you all the numbers. There's no pressure. Also, in this entire thing, they don't care. They don't. I mean, they're not there to pressure you. They don't call you up afterwards, dinging you, ringing your phone ring constantly. Hey, you gonna sign up? You gonna sign up? You gonna sign up? Sign up. There's none of that. There was no chasing me down, trying to get me to sign up for DVC. That never occurred. That's never occurred ever. They also, yep, that never occurred. The DVC the people are just really spectacular and nice. They treat you like a good guest. That has been my experience with them, working with them in the entire process of 3 contracts. They have been spectacular. They don't talk over your head. They give you what you need to know. The point breakdown. They don't. There's nothing. They're not used car salesmen. They're not hiding anything. They just telling you what it is straight out. I think it's a great deal. Awesome thing to do if you can afford it. And I think it's a really, really great plan. I had a really great experience signing up, even. They go out of their way to make sure that everything works out right. The whole ordeal even has the spice of the even has the pixie dust. Like, I think that they just have it just falling from the air everywhere nearby. It was a great experience. So in the next time that I do one of these, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to talk a little bit more about saving money with the DVC plan, because that's really important. Say how to save money with the DVC plan. That's something you need to know, and how to get the plan so it can help out with you. I'm going to show you how it's going to work out, and whatnot. And and I'll explain how we were able to get a good deal, and you might too be able to get a good deal and get a good deal. No, there was a car. That's a car advertisement here in Detroit. Sorry. So yeah, if you can help, first of all, support our channel. Also, while we're talking about this, support our channel, hit the subscribe button, and like our videos. We really highly appreciate it, and it really helps us out. But also, I want to share my DVC experiences with you. Our first stay, by the way, was in the Polynesian. After looking at it, but we didn't buy points at the Polynesian. We just stayed there our first time. We had a great time. It was really splendor. It was great. It was awesome. Had a really great time. But yeah, I look forward to look, talking about this more, and hopefully you guys like this so far. We'll talk more about my Disney experience, part number 2, probably next week. It's going to be next week. So look forward to that. I'll be putting that out there. We'll talk more about my DVC experience. Talk to you guys later. For now, over and out.